Good day, precious people, and yes, this is Pietro Baker again down here at the corner store. And to my left, we have
Tori Watson-Jones.
Christopher Bass, aka C Bass.
You know,
and today we have a special guest. We have my brother, my soul brother, is Mr. Cleo Dailey.
From Savannah?
And yes, we are sponsored by Baker and H Media Productions and Crew SAS Consultants. You want to come down here on 1216 East McClure, if you're in Illinois, outside Glen Oak Park, across the street from the gas station. They ain't got no gas.
no gas.
On before January 29th, because that's when they started doing the taxes. Okay, so we're gonna start off. We're talking about the 7 deadly sins today with Mr. Cleo Dailey.
What was that laugh about?
Listen, that laugh is because I have expertise in all this.
Wow.
So
I concur, you do.
So first, let's talk about what is the 7 deadly sins, Chris? What are they?
The 7 deadly sins. Use only a brief definition of each one.
If you could just tell us each one.
Okay, well, pride, envy, gluttony, lust, anger, greed, sloth.
Okay.
They all will mess you up simultaneously too.
Where did they come from? How do someone know that this is a sin? How will they know?
How will they know?
Because it feels good.
And I guess that's
Some people, yeah, it feel good. Like
I guess that goes for anybody. I mean, how would you know that you're dealing with a sin? I mean, we know in the Old Testament, certain rules and laws was given out because they had to teach them, hey, this what you think that is good, okay to do, is not good for you to do. So how will a person know like that?
For example, pride you would know is a sin because you try to rely on your own ability instead of relying on God. You try to rely on your own ability. For example, you driving down the highway, you buy an hour lost, and you go to Google, you can go to whatever, but you're like, I'm gonna do my own. I trust this up here.
Mm-hmm.
Next you know you're somewhere in the ditch.
How would a prideful person know that? Because usually a prideful
Because
person.
because they didn't. The private person.
Did you just cut me off?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
He did.
Oh, it was okay. No.
Yeah.
Just rest.
Okay.
Remember your therapy.
I'm ready to go. I'm just good.
I have my therapy.
But
right here.
I think essentially, like, the thing that lets you know what sin is, essentially, is anything that separates you from God or puts oneself above God. So
Right.
if it's something that you say in my own accord, as you said with pride, or something that says, I want this more than I want to be obedient, then you know then that is something that separates you from God, because that's essentially the definition of sin, to miss the mark.
Yeah. But what about the person who never knew God and who don't know what being with God is different than what they already are? Like if I'm a prideful man all my life and I know mom and daddy are, how would I know what is wrong for me to be like this?
Is that for me?
Yeah. That's what you
So I think that, well, here's the thing. There are certain things that happen with the dogmatic experience of religion.
Mhm.
So whatever religion that you're in, they teach you certain things, but then there's a certain thing that all of us have that we don't really use a lot. It's called common sense. It ain't so common anymore. But it's common sense to know that if something is on my desk and you take it, it's not right to take it because it's mine. It's also common sense to know that if you grab this, it's on. So don't do that. But I think essentially there are certain things that are just in the conscience of man that lets us know this is probably not just an easy or smart thing to do.
Right.
So if you have a family that lives in pride or they have a certain pedigree, you're gonna always be looking to try to keep up with that, and then one may break away from that because they feel it on the inside. So we all have this thing on the inside of us that allows us to feel something.
Okay. So when people acknowledge that they do have it, and this is for all of y'all, if people do acknowledge that, okay, I know this is wrong, how do people really still abstain from satisfying that want or that need or that?
I don't think all the time they do. Yeah, I don't think all the time they do. I think, one of my favorite sayings is you don't know what you don't know. And some people don't know that they're being prideful because if they grew up in that pedigree, like you were talking about, that's what they know to do. And until they get that experience, and somebody come and say, hey, this is how you're being perceived, or what you're saying is this, and if they have to want to change that, And if they don't want that change, then no, they gotta want it.
Kind of like your voice, right?
Well, you know what? We talked about this the last show.
Like that.
I am being afflicted.
Your voice has been like this. This is a sin that have not left your soul.
No, that sin is still there. I said I feel like I got a man in my chest. Trying to come out. Yes. A whole man.
Listen,
You know what? I'm gonna charge him now. He don't know he got a bill coming.
So the next question I have is why is this important? I mean, is this important to have? I mean, there's so many things that people deal with in life. Is it really important to be like, okay, let me not be prideful, let me not be envious, let me not be this way? Is it important?
Yes, but the more I would argue you live a more satisfying life. For example, envy. Why are you so concerned with how everybody else's situation is doing? What about yours? That's not you.
Right.
So you can't put their life in your life. The more you focus on, that's like Facebook. When you go on social media, you look at everybody else's life. That can amp up depression. What good does that do for you? Again, it's like common sense too. It's like if I look at this, and some of that's not always true. Some of that's fake. Some of that's them just taking pictures. I was in a beach on Jamaica. You used to the beach in the sandbox.
Right.
I'm glad you said beach twice because the first time it didn't sound like beach.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant to say beach.
I was just wondering. I think, you know what, honestly speaking, I think that they, whether you are a deeply religious person or not, like acknowledging these things are just good, like you said, for just self-growth, for just the ability to live. We have this saying now where we're living our best life, that you cannot live your best life if you're in debt. Stop it. But we have this saying when we're living our best life, like you really genuinely cannot live your best life and affect the lives of others if you are operating in these, because they're just as addictive as drugs. Because you have to continue to feed it. And if you're feeding that, you're not feeding into what is your best life.
Awesome. That's good.
This is why I got
So, you want to let me go? I'm just saying. I thought we was taking turns and it was,
I'm sorry.
my turn. So,
tag you with me.
tag, I'm in. Okay, so what I was thinking is it safe to say that everybody struggles with a little bit of sin?
Yes.
Whether it be one of these that's listed or whatever other, if it doesn't fall in that category. So my question would be to the panel, to everybody here, is how do you recognize it? Because you can't treat something you don't recognize. Until you go and get that diagnosis of cancer, they don't know what course of treatment to give you. So how do you treat that?
If you're a lustful man and the only thing you do is chase girls all the time and you surround yourself with guys that think the same way and all y'all do the same thing and all y'all cheat and all y'all just whatever, and that's it, how do you know that's wrong? And that's what you're asking, right?
That too, and then what you just said brought a second question, so we need to put a pin on that too.
Okay.
Is what classifies, because everybody got a little bit of flirt in them. So what takes you from flirt to lust? So even with greed and what takes you from just being hungry for something to greed? What crosses that line?
When it controls you, I think.
I was going to say, like, that's what to me is a deep moment. It goes from being, this is why I can't call Christianity religious. I have to call it more relationship. Because a lot of this to me is common sense. The problem here is, and some will struggle with porn, and it's funny because in school we're taught it's healthy. We're taught that it's good. The problem is, if you look at the world nowadays, it's hard to date. It's hard to find somebody. It's hard. And
it's hard to find porn or hard to find?
No, it's not hard to find porn.
Oh, okay, because I wanted him to clarify what was hard.
It's hard to find like that person that you like. It's hard to date. There's
to date.
There's some people that give up and they'll look at porn and say porn is better because I don't want to deal with the issue of a relationship. The problem is when you look at it and see some people I said will spend hours by themselves looking at this. It warps your view of what a relationship is really supposed to be like. And this is where lust comes because lust versus love. Lust is selfish. Lust says I want it now, despite how you feel. You go basically you're satisfying your own needs, and once you're done, I discard you like some garbage. So when that person starts to want to actually know what love is, they don't know how to understand it. What is good is how do I give? How do I give? I don't understand that. I don't get love. How can I be with you? I don't get that. All I'm used to is just getting what I want. I don't want you. I just want what you got.
Ooh, Chris,
you
come
go
on.
You go after the flesh before you go after her soul.
Yeah.
So It gets to the point where it's just like a self-actualization. You realize, this isn't helping me. I want this, and that's when they start to break out. You said hanging around people.
Right.
Well, you begin to start hanging around with people because who you hang around with, you will begin to form.
Exactly.
So when you stop hanging around with them, which can cause friction, especially because we live in a world where all this is known. Envy, gluttony, greed. And some of this, like I said, we're taught in school. We're taught to be ambitious and like, no, I'm gonna get what I want. I'm gonna do me, forget everybody. But it's easy to slip in all these things. So we end up just get away from those friends.
Okay.
All right, come under the good sports like you guys. You guys are all good people. Come under the good sports and learn what love is. Learn kindness. Learn that it's okay to ask for help. We human. We all make mistakes.
Can I make an observation?
Yeah. If y'all can both hold it, we gotta go to our skit, and we'll be right back.
How you doing, man? I'm doing pretty good. No, I ain't talking to mom yet. No.
What? Talk to
I
her.
want to talk.
What?
Yeah, but she was wrong. Look, I thought
She
about
was
it.
wrong.
Like, if
She was wrong.
because she's like, she's 40 years old though. Like, she
Yeah,
should know
that's
better.
right. She's 40 years old. You have
She
call
had
her,
no
forget
right
her.
doing
She
what
ain't
she had
nobody.
to, putting her hands on. She
Yeah.
had no right.
Had no right.
So okay, so
You
like,
the man.
and she does this like all the time.
All the time.
She got
You
to
have-
learn.
you know,
She got to
you-
learn her lesson, not through me.
Yeah.
It
That's
should
what
be
you
the
gonna
child's job to correct their mom.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
as far as I'm concerned,
do. Yeah.
I don't have nothing more to say.
At all, man.
So,
At all.
I thank you for like trying to
Yeah,
help out and
yeah, yeah,
everything.
yeah.
Did you guys like? Is it written? It wasn't written anywhere, and I'm reading your stuff now, but it doesn't say that.
Yeah, well,
Okay, but that's misleading though. Okay,
you
but
need your money back.
Can I get my money back, please? No, I won't calm down. Look, no. So
Take my money. You
explain to me this. No, because you should have said something. That's not right.
Right.
Okay, and
Yeah.
no, get your representative.
Talk about their mama.
Hey, no. Hey, look. That's why your mom's a bitch. Where my money at? No. I want to get. No.
Money. Yeah.
No,
You gonna blow the whole place up. You don't get your money.
Yeah, you don't make. Okay, so sir, no.
You gonna blow the whole place up.
I'm gonna blow the whole place up. You don't get out. If you don't give
I
me
want
back
my
my money,
money.
I want my money back.
They good, ain't they? You ain't fool. You ain't fool. They real good. You know you had lunch already, and you just got out there with chicken and those ribs. But yeah, keep on, man. Sure, that's your Bible. They good too. Don't ever stop. You ain't fool. You ain't gonna ever get fooled. They keep on. They good, ain't they? Keep on. They good. Yeah, that's it. Hey, boy. You take the trash out?
Not yet.
Come up here to clean this. Come on here to cut this grass, boy.
Okay.
That nasty room clean?
Yeah.
Let me come up here. If it's not, I'm gonna come up there in about an hour. If it ain't clean, I'm gonna tell you something.
Okay.
Man, what they want? Man, chill. Just play the game. We good, man. They got trash. The trash don't even run till tomorrow.
Exactly.
You know, you got plenty of time to do that. It's cold outside. That grass growing slow. Anyway, chill, man. He ain't like, you got some weed on you? You got something to smoke? You ain't got nothing? It's alright. It's alright. That's cool. Let's chill, man. We ain't trying to do nothing. I knew you finna ask about them applications. That's alright. You know, you grabbed them. You did get it. It's up there. You just ain't filled it out. What you gonna do?
Right now, you just chilling. We chilling. We cool. We don't do too much. Yeah, we good. Ain't nobody got time for that. He work all day. Yeah, look at her. Yeah. She look good, doesn't she? She look real good. She look real good. We can have all of it. All day. How she look? Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Where is she single? That doesn't matter if she's single. Doesn't matter. Well, you got the game. You can take her from him. Yeah. You can take her from her. You got it, man. Dang, man. You see that short window? You see that short window? Yeah. She got that. Yeah. Yeah. Download that one. We can see that later on. Download that one. Yeah. Where that magazine at? You see that magazine? I'm gonna pop in this DVD over here for it. You got that magazine? Yeah. Where that magazine at? It's on the bed? Okay, I'll get it. Yeah, I'm gonna pop in this DVD and we can finish watching. Yeah.
She finally got her a job at Netflix.
You got a job at Netflix too, right?
Yeah.
What's she doing getting that?
She didn't even finish school, which is making me mad.
Finish school.
I'm stuck.
You got a big old tuition that you gotta pay. I mean, all this money you
I
gotta
got
pay.
50 grand in debt to pay off.
Yeah.
I'm starting to learn school's even worth it, man. She
Right.
dropped out.
Right. She
She
don't
got
deserve
a nice
that. She don't
house.
deserve that like you deserve that.
She got a nice house and everything, man.
You deserve that. She don't. Don't you know all the stuff you had to put up with? Things that you had you struggle with right now? And you know what she used to do? She ain't did nothing. Nothing at all. You deserve that. Not her. Right. Not her.
That's right.
Yeah, that's what we make. We make our money.
Right.
We make our money.
Right, man.
Yeah.
Time something's gonna come in. This is mine.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody take this from me.
Yeah. Call so-and-so. He got some money. He just got paid today.
Yeah.
He just got paid. Call him. Yeah. Get that too. Get that too.
Hey, Tony, how you doing, man? Look, I just curious, man. About that game that helped you out, man.
Yeah. $100.
Remember, it came with all the stuff, right? It was at least $100, man. You know, all the little extra DLCs and extra content and the add-on stuff.
We don't care about his kids like Christmas. We don't care
Yeah, like,
about
I get that. But what about me, though, man?
Yeah, we need our money.
Well, I mean, I'm out here starving, too. What about me?
Ask his mama. Ask his mama.
Hey, how about your mom, man? She look, she's really nice, man, for that dinner she made us. I'm sure she wouldn't mind if you asked her, man.
Yeah, you need
Where's
your
my money? Look, I get it, but what about my money?
Say, I'm coming over there again. I'll be over there.
All right, hold on, say, look, how about this? I'll be over there in a few minutes, all right? All right.
And we are back. Yes. And okay, so the skit shows where you was dealing with the 7 deadly sins, and I was your tempter, if you will. And
Imagine that. Sorry.
but I mean, but it was all of those reasons you had. That you was dealing with forgiveness. You didn't want to call your mother back because you was private for that, and was another time where you was just counting money over and over.
Yeah. This lady out on the phone, it's like that.
Yeah, over.
You done lost all service now.
Yeah.
Again, common sense, relationship. Like you didn't just lost that contact.
Right.
What good that?
Right.
Come on now.
Right. So okay. So before we went to break, okay, y'all both had a statement. I think Cleo. Tori, you had one.
I just wanted to make the observation
Yes.
that I've never seen Chris this intense. Is this your topic? You really want
I've
this?
struggled with that for in school. It's funny because like people say, we're taught is healthy. They'll say point out the science, but I can show you millions of people who are very numb to it. To them, this is normal. They'll literally tell you, why do I need a girlfriend? Why do I have to deal with that? Why do I need a boyfriend? I hate this. Like, why do I should? I'm just gonna get my heart broken. There are people literally doing stuff like that, and it's crazy because it's like, what the heck? Like, y'all just say, y'all say the signs, you say this, you could go to the counselor, you go to all these people and say like it's it's good, it helps you, it's healthy. But if you've never been in a relationship before, and that's all you ever know, you trapped yourself in a box. You can't get out of it without God's help. Because at that point, the brain is a powerful thing. And dopamine can be cruel.
What that dopamine?
It's one of the endorphins that works with compulsive behavior. But here's the thing. It takes the same amount of dopamine to go into a behavior as it does to come out.
Yes, it does.
So it's all a matter of where you put your energy. And so for me, I've always said life in general is like a camera, right? So whatever it is that you focus on is what's going to develop. Like one of my favorite scriptures is whatsoever things are lovely and true and of good report. If there's any virtue and if there's any praise, you think on those things. So whatever it is that you think on, whatever it is that you input or digest into your mind, that's what's going to develop. So some of us, for example, if it is a lust, and sometimes I want to be clear, lust is not always just sex. Sometimes you can just lust for somebody else's car, you can lust for somebody else's lifestyle. And so what you have to do is, my godmother gave me probably some of the best advice that I've ever received in the world. And she said, keep your eyes on your own paper. And I think, when you go to school, they pass out different forms of tests, right? So we're all sitting in our rows and we're passed out different tests. All of the same answers are there, but they're not in the same order. So you may be dealing with lust right now. I may be dealing with greed right now. So it's impossible for me to get all the right answers if I'm worried about your paper.
Exactly.
And so we have to learn how to keep our eyes on our own paper. But in addition to that, whatever you input is what's going to output. And I think that so many times we make it, our conversation is a little jilted, if you will, in my opinion. I don't believe in speaking about the problem. I believe in telling the problem, listen, this is exactly the solution.
We're going to break it down, practical, and it says like faith without works is dead.
Absolutely.
This is why I can never say, go back to now, religious relationship, because relationship-wise, I'm going to break it down to you. This is what you have to do. It's going to be a pain to get out of. Yeah, especially if you've been doing stuff for, you've been angry, you've been always going off on people because you don't get what you want for 10 years straight. That's going to be a son of a gun to break out of you.
And then watch this, Tori. Stop giving me just religious jargon. Part of the reason why I have sex is because it feels good.
Hello.
The thing is,
I like it. So stop acting as if
it doesn't.
Make you take out a title long. But anyway, I'm sorry. So here's the thing. If we have to get real and irrelevant, you can never, ever, ever conquer a giant that you are not willing to confront. And so many times we're asking people to just get over it or just go to get some confidence. Sometimes you need more than that. Sometimes you need to unlearn in order to learn. And so if you are dealing with greed, you need to understand that, number one, none of these seven deadly sins just happen as just a part of life. They're always interconnected to something else. A lot of times we know that greed and gluttony are signs of some other internal abusive behavior. So if I have been abused, I probably want to build another layer of protection. Hence, I don't know what Planet Fitness is. You know what I'm saying?
That makes so much sense.
You know what I'm saying? But I think that what we have to do is we have to stop being lazy as leaders and stop being lazy even as counselors and stop giving people dogmatic jargon. I know why you have sex, so I should not ask you why you have sex. I know why you have, because it feels good. But ultimately, what else is going on? What's at the root of that thing that's going on?
Basically asking, what is that you're trying to satisfy? What is that void that you're trying to fill? Because you guys just have sex. You can do everything else, masturbate or whatever. But what is that thing that you're trying to, is it a daddy issue situation? Is it a loneliness? It's something else that makes you act on things.
That's a good point. Part of my profession is to study behaviors. And so I study behaviors for a living in youth. And one of the things that I'm big on saying is a lot of it is learned behaviors, like you said before. And those are the worst behaviors to change. Things that have a diagnosis of ADHD, we know that we can give some meds or a natural substance to help with that. But the learned behaviors, there's not necessarily a medication we can give for that. It's not even necessarily a psychotherapy that we can give to help curb those. You have to unlearn it. You have to be willing to unlearn the behavior.
So how does one unlearn a behavior? If there's something, I mean, how would you know that you had to unlearn it, and what steps
It's a
would they take?
process.
I would say habits.
Your hand up.
Come on, Ian, because
He put his hand up.
Yeah, that's right. I'm the Can I just say this?
All right.
Healing happens when habits change.
Yes.
Healing happens when habits change.
I like that.
That's so good.
If you know,
That's fun.
like for example, I'm gonna go this because it's like the usual.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but this is fun.
For example, if you know when you go home, you go straight to that computer, right?
My God.
Go straight home. Why don't you go to sleep? Do something. Or go hang with
Look at
friends.
me, audience.
Go to
I'm not.
friends. Or go to friends.
I'm going to sip on that.
Listen, I love the Lord. Look what I mean. The devil is alive.
Go to the gym, work out, burn that energy off. Do something that you know for a fact. I'm gonna say, do what works for you. Don't do it just because. Don't go off of it should work. No, do what you know is a proven method for works for you. You do work.
Just something, doing a healthy something more healthier.
Because
than what
for you
you're
to really
doing
break
to
free,
get
you need
out
to replace it with something just as powerful.
of the situation. He got Cleo got his hand.
Your hands up. I pick you.
I'm following him because this is so good. So, you all, if I was car salesman, I talk about cars. I'm a minister, so I'm going to go straight to the word.
Yeah.
So, but we don't use the word right?
Mm-hmm.
So watch this. One of my favorite scriptures in the Bible talks about the prodigal son.
Mm-hmm.
He was sitting in a pig pen. He had lost everything. And the Bible says, and he came to himself.
Mm-hmm.
That is how you reverse the
Right.
learning.
Come on.
Right.
He had to realize, first of all, the truth.
Right.
The truth of the matter is, I have completely disrespected and disavowed my family. I've used all of my earnings, and I'm sitting in a position that's actually even forbidden by my culture because the Jews would never have any kind of commonality with swine.
Right.
But he was sitting in a pig's pen because lust and envy and the 7 deadly sins make you go to places that you're not normally used to being. So he said, I'm not even supposed to be around swine, but I'm in a pig pen because I'm in dire straits. And then he said, I'm going to come. He came to himself, is what the Bible said. He came to himself and he said, what am I doing here? The truth of the matter is that healing ultimately begins, and yes, those habits have to change, but nothing happens until you get that epiphany.
An awakening.
Yeah.
Because he came back to his father, and at that point, and that's when he wanted.
He could not get out the pen. He could not get back to his father. He could not do anything until he had, and one of my favorite words, as we all know, is epiphany.
Yeah.
He had an epiphanal moment that said, who am I? How did I get here? And now what am I willing to do to change it? And so many times we're looking outwardly for answers that are only on the inside.
So, yeah, because I believe that some people, excuse me, Chris, I think that some people, let me ask you this. Do you think everyone has an epiphany?
Yes.
Yeah, I believe so too.
Some people miss it though.
I believe some people are hard on it. That doesn't mean nothing. That. But I believe that everyone has that moment. You know, I have that moment. You know, when you shouldn't have said that. You know, what you shouldn't have been to run your mouth. I mean, you have that moment. It's like a time of clarity of, okay, let me change this. You know, let me turn around. Let me fix the situation. So.
And I'm going here.
Yeah.
So, as you all know, we've been friends forever. Tori has been my friend for eons and
Don't
eons.
you age me on this
I'm
show.
going to do it. She is like 19,476 years old. All those years,
When my birthday, Cleo? When my birthday?
Don't do that.
Because he never gets my birthday.
One of the things that I know for sure is that sometimes God uses those people that are around you. Like, let's say, like, God used her so many times to bring to light an epiphany for me.
Oh, that's
Maybe
beautiful.
you should not hang with that person. Maybe you should not spend money like. And I had a choice in that epiphany to say, you are so right, friend, or girl, bye, whatever.
Right.
Usually that's what I got.
I usually got that, and then what have I to suffer for it? So you have the choice to choose. So everybody has those epiphanal moments.
Right.
Some of us just don't deal with it. Like you can be a sister who's like, I know this man ain't nothing, but maybe if I have one more baby by him, he's gonna change. Well, wrong, moron. It's not gonna happen. You have to get to yourself and say, I was wrong. And I think that, you know, it's what you do with the epiphanies, because everybody has them.
Right.
It's what you do with them that ultimately change.
And this is not religious. This is not religious.
This is
just
why I said I call it relationship.
Yeah, this is not religious.
Function in that way.
It's not no rules. It's not. I don't think it is even biblical.
It's very practical.
Yeah, it's just like it is what it is. Okay.
One of the sons, the other son was very prideful.
Oh.
The other son, so they all connect, because the other son was like, wait a minute, because they threw a party for the prodigal son. When he came back, his dad, and Jewish custom, they don't get up and just run and go hug their child. They don't do it. So the fact that the other son was just like, you ain't throwing no party, I've been here for years, you ain't throwing no party for me, how come you do this for him? How you? That's how we treat people.
Tori was mad at me because Jesus threw a party for me. We'll talk about it.
We will be. Jesus do a whole party for you.
Jesus threw a whole party.
Just for him.
Not invited
Just for
to
him.
issues. She ain't ready.
We'll be right back after these messages.
Larry's Barber College teaches the popular craft of hairstyling, provides mentorship, life lessons, and counseling. $8 haircut, 1,500 clock hours of classroom. Curriculum includes history of barbering, professional image, anatomy, chemistry, and many others. Practical includes razors, clippers and shear, cutting, shaving, color, chemical application, and hairstyling. Larry's Barber College, located at 1315 West Garden Street, Peoria, Illinois 61602. Phone number 773-779-2100.
All right, and we are back. Okay, so Chris, you were just saying something about. Okay,
So in that same scripture, there's another son who's been with the father for all that length of time.
Mhm.
But when the other son comes back, and people realize they don't forget the reason why the father was so happy is because like my son has returned, and he's had that to realize he was wrong. He's coming to me, and in Jewish custom, an older person don't get up out of chairs, run, and no, it's undignified. So the fact that he did that speaks volumes. But the other son's like, I've been doing it for years. I've been with you for all this time. You ain't never gonna party for me. We see pride coming out. You ain't did this for me. All this stuff. You ain't never. Why you ain't never? And he stormed. He actually stayed out while they had a party inside. He probably was too prideful to go enjoy the party. Free
There
food
were so
and
many
everything.
other ones in there too. There was pride, there was greed,
Mhm.
there was love, there was envy. So, I mean,
you talking about that whole story?
Yes.
It's that whole scenario right there. Because one of the, I would never believe that you can have one of the 7 deadly sins without at least a combination of another.
Right.
Or more.
Right.
Because it snowballs. It snowballs. And it's just, it's almost like a lie, right? So if I tell Tori a lie, then I got to tell another lie to cover
it back
then
up.
I got to tell another one, then you forget it. So it always snowballs. And I think that story is so powerful because even in all of that, the biggest issue that the brother who stayed had was relationship. If you really knew who your father was, you would have never been upset about him taking his other son back. But I think so many times that's our problem. We don't have a relationship with ourselves. If you really knew what your value was, if you really knew what your worth was, why would you give your life to greed? Why would you give your life to envy or one of the 7 deadly sins, to control? Well, you have to go back. Everything goes back to, like he said in the very beginning, everything goes back to relationship. It goes back to, but sometimes we put so much of a focus on the relationship where it's a religious thing. But sometimes this thing is very practical.
Yes.
Do I know me?
Right.
And do I like me?
Yeah.
How many times do we ask ourselves that, right? And then how many times do we go back and say, it's been a few months, do I like this me?
Yeah.
Because I'm evolving. So I may have liked who I was 3 or 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Do I like this person today?
Right.
And if I don't, what is it that I don't like, and how do I change that? This thing is work.
Amen.
It is, and I was going to elaborate on that
Please.
and say that it's so much, nowadays it's easier to give into those 7 deadly sins, more so than it is to refrain from them. And I think a lot of it is because society, and we talked about commercialism before on shows before, on how they know how to make things twinkle and shine. They know where to put the makeup on. They know where to put the, they know how to make it bling.
Right.
And so your eye is what catches that. And then that's where the lust comes in.
Yeah.
That's where once we have it, the next one, I need another one because this one has dulled. So that's where the greed comes in. So I think it is harder to sustain from those.
Social media make it easy too.
Makes it so easy.
We have a microwavable society, period.
Yes.
You can change your hair with a little glue. You can change your skin complexion with a little
Yeah.
Sometimes you
Glue is
glue
powerful.
changes everything.
Honey.
We have such a society that says, me, mine, now. It's my money and I want it now.
Right.
Everything is so immediate in this society. And so we don't want to work for you. We become an entitled society that says, I want all of the benefits and none of the responsibility.
Right.
But with any level of accreditation or elevation, there is a level of responsibility to oneself, because you will find yourself having public successes and private failures.
Yeah.
Because and how many times have we seen it with our quote unquote superstars, to where they were obviously dealing with one of the 7 deadly sins, but because they never dealt with self, they never got in the mirror and looked at themselves, then everything just came crashing down.
Yeah, that's how you see suicides. And
It's
all
on the
this.
rise.
Yeah.
So many people, their cup is clean on the outside, on the inside it's straight toxic and gum. Just like there's a verse.
Don't worry, I'll give you the rest of the show.
Speaking of cups, wow, I mean, to have Cleo Dailey on the show is just awesome. It's just awesome. But
Take it back.
he do have merchandise. I got my first Cleo Dailey merchandise, his cup, Modern Day Lazarus. Also, he has a book that's out on Amazon.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing.
It's The Miseducation of the Miracle.
Yes.
Modern Day Lazarus, you want to share with us a little bit
I
about
would
it?
love to do this. So as you can see, I am Cleo Modern Day Lazarus. It's a biblical principle, but it actually makes sense if you look at my life. I speak a little bit. There are memoirs or personal accounts of my own life and how they can affect someone else's. Even with the story of Lazarus, how he was sick, and sometimes when you are sick, you may not even know that you're sick. But even beyond that, you have people who are co-dependent upon that sickness. And so Lazarus eventually died, or something in Lazarus died, and then God resurrected him and called him by name out of the tomb. When he resurrected him and called him out of the tomb, he told the people to loose them and let them go. So that's why Cleo is Modern Day Lazarus, because I know that there are a lot of people that expected Cleo to stay in the tomb, or have been so bitter or broken in the tomb that my ears wouldn't hear, so that I could hear when God called me out. But he did. And so because he did, I was able to hear my name, and he called me out, and now he's loosing me and allowing me to go all over the world. I'm so grateful. But the epiphany of Modern Day Lazarus speaks to that. It speaks to the triumph and the tragedy of a life. And it speaks to how you have an ultimate responsibility to learn and unlearn. And how it is that you first of all have to recognize where you are and who you are. But I have physical copies. I've been so blessed to have sold out of those now.
Okay. That's a blessing. That's a blessing. But they can always go to Amazon, right?
But you can always get it on Amazon Kindle, or if you just choose to have your own physical copy, you can just follow me on any social media website. On Instagram, of course, I'm Modern Day Lazarus. It's LAZURUS. And on Facebook, look for the flyest man on social media. And just look up Cleo Modern Day Lazarus. You will find me, and you can connect with me there. I do seminars, I preach, I sing my things all the time. I apologize for none of it. I also style some of the saints, because y'all just wrong.
Style some of the
saints. Style some of the
saints. Give me like
He gonna help me out sooner or later. Cause I'll throw some old jeans and a t-shirt and be through.
You basically would have done
and some cowboy boots.
Also, as a cowboy, I got Converse today.
Come on.
But this brother got a lot of wisdom, a lot of good word in him, and just an awesome person. He has also midday manna. Yes. So it's Monday through Friday, right?
It's Tuesday through Friday.
Tuesday through Friday.
Monday, you're not. Tuesday.
It's like the chicken shots at a barbershop.
If the barbershop is closed, so am I. Tuesday through Friday, we do midday manna every day, 12 o'clock Central Standard Time. And we come on, and just while you're eating your good chips, we're going to give you practical information from, of course, a biblical perspective. But we never have had a moment when we did a midday manna where somebody did not say, listen, that was exactly for me.
Right.
And I'm really mad at you for being in my house.
Right.
Go there.
Right. We're just grateful to have him here today. We covered everything.
That's probably the first.
It's probably the first. Yeah. he just gave so much word and wisdom and all that, and I was just like, oh, it was full rounded. But yeah, we that would be all for us today, and we're grateful to have Cleo Dailey, modern day Lazarus here.
Listen, y'all, make sure you go into the comment section and tell them, they're kind of shady, tell them to bring me back. I want to come back and visit the cornerstone.
Yes.
It really feels like home. It's
Yes.
really good. And I'm honored to be here. These people are brilliant. I know myself.
Yeah, we will have his links to all his social medias at the bottom of this. So share, like, and subscribe for us, and we really appreciate it. I believe that's all for us. See y'all later.
Bye.
Bye.